Game on.
Hey there, game gurus. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about something new for the iiRcade. I got a package just last night. It's the pre-production unit of the GRS iiRcade Ultimate Control Panel. We can see right here, this is my prototype one, but let's see what more like the final version is going to be like. Let's have a look. Go. Here's the board and the little kit to make it all work. Let's have a closer look. Okay, so here is the pre-production version of the GRS iiRcade Ultimate Control Panel. You can see, first of all, this top is completely smooth. There's no more rivets protruding on the top, so you can put down vinyl or an acrylic cover on top of here. We've also silk screened on the lettering, A, B, C, X, Y, Z for player 1 and player 2. We also have the menu / pause button, volcano button, volume up, volume down, player 1 start. We have our 4-way, 8-way gate switcher marked right here, again silk screened on. Coin, player 2 start, and the power button, all on volcano buttons. Now you can see we have a new button over here. This will be for the original iiRcade SPC and the GRS Viper. So we put some of the technology we needed in here to make our switching mechanism work, but this will be the button that'll switch between the two. We still have the audio out headphone jack that was on the original machine. We have two standard GRS spinners on here with the Discs of Tron top on here, so you have the two spinners here. We changed out the red standard trackball with the 7-color GRS LED version 2 trackball, so you can set different colors for this. And you can see the joysticks are missing because, well, they are removable. This way, if you are playing spinner games and you feel like the joystick's in your way, they're easy to pop out. And we're including some extra things in the package here for people who backed the pre-order, which I'll show in a second. You can see on the front right here, we have moved the USB ports for easy access right on the front of the panel. So player 1 here, player 2 here. And we have little rubber stoppers now covering the mounting points for the options like the steering wheel or the GRS flight yoke. And there's two more on this side, which you can't see right now because I'm using this to hold this thing off the ground because there's some stuff I'll show you underneath here in a second. Again, the big thing here is that this is nice and smooth, so you could get vinyl covering or acrylic covers without having to worry about the rivets being in the way. But you can see all the silk screening is done on here, so you can see everything really easily and know what each button does. But let's show you again here on the front a little bit better here. You can see the two USB ports mounted on the front and 3 mounting points here. Now I'm going to flip this thing over for a second, just so you can see the underside real quick, without losing my foam. So we've managed to clean up under here a lot. I know if someone watched my live stream before, we had a lot of stuff going on under here, but we were able to kind of consolidate everything. So you can see we have the two joysticks here, and we have the GRS TOS powered gate switches right here for 2 controllers right here, and that's the board that is controlling these two right here. We have our milling press buttons here, which are gold tinned on here. We have our 2 spinners over here. Underneath the foam, we have our little mounting points you need to screw this into your iiRcade so it doesn't fall out on each side there. And that's kind of underneath. So this is the switcher for the 4 and 8-way, and this will be the switcher that'll go to either the iiRcade SPC or the future GRS Viper if you do go for that option, about a $50 option we're still shooting for. Now under here is our trackball, and these switches here will determine what color the LED is. Right now this is set to off, but there'll be a little pamphlet showing you what colors can be done here. And of course the GRS TOS gate switch, it does support the 4 controllers, but right now 2 are currently assigned. And again, these can be done manually with the button, but there can be software controls. If someone writes code, I know that Mystery Encoder's team have written stuff, maybe they can include that, which the game will determine, automatically set these to the right modes. You like run like you know, Burger Time, or if someone puts Pac-Man or something on there, or Donkey Kong, you need 4 ways. Without you having to do anything, it would automatically switch to that mode. But again, that's optional, but you can still control it by hand. Now again, we have the 2 USB ports on the front. We have these soft mounting points we have covered with little rubber grommets, so we don't see them the whole time. And we have something else back here. We have our board, which I'm going to go to if I turn this thing around a little bit. Give you guys a little idea what's going on back here. So on the back of the board, you can see we have this little board here. This is going to be to power. This is our little mini hub we designed. So this will be for 5 volts. So all the USB ports, we have 2 here for internal, and we have 2 on the front, obviously. So that's going to make sure everything is properly powered. We have an additional connector right here for future enhancements. And of course, all of our other controllers are connected here. So this one board kind of connects to everything. So all you really need to do is you're going to connect this to your legacy iiRcade. But again, I'm going to show you some things we have in a bag as well, because we have ways to connect this to the gold unit, so don't worry. But this will connect to the GPIOs of the legacy unit, and we have a little adapter that'll make it go to the gold. And then of course we have the USB host port here, and this will connect to, on the legacy unit, either to the Mystery Encoder board, or again, we included our own little device that lets you connect it directly to the classic legacy iiRcade. So if you have the Mystery Encoder, you can go right from this into their board, or from this directly into the iiRcade with our adapter. So either way, you're covered. And that's kind of it for this. So I'm going to show you now what comes in addition to this here, and then of course we'll put it in the machine and take a look at it in the legacy unit. But again, this will work in the legacy unit or the gold. So it doesn't matter which machine you have. We include everything to let you connect it to the legacy unit or the gold unit. But let me show you some of the things that came included for the pre-order backers. So hold on one second. Okay, so in addition to this, which is pretty nice as it is, we include a bag of goodies. So I'm going to show you some of the bag of goodies that we came in with the unit. So of course we have to include a cable. Now this cable here will connect the board back here to the, we'll connect this to the GRS Ultimate Control Board to the iiRcade. So this will connect to the back of the GRS board, and this will be going over to the iiRcade. Again, if you have Mystery Encoder's board installed already, just connect this right to the Mystery Encoder board. If not, we do include our own adapter, which I'm going to find in here for a second. So that's going to be this little guy right here. So this little guy right here will let you connect. If you don't have the Mystery Encoder board, this will get you USB ability on the legacy unit. Of course, the gold, you can connect this directly to the unit, but this little device here will let you connect it to the iiRcade legacy unit and give you a USB host. And then of course, when you connect our device here, you'll have 40 USB ports available to yourself. But that is included as well. Put this down over. Let's put this out of the way. Get both these out of the way. You saw what it is already. Well, what other bag of goodies do we have in here? Well, again, since this is a powered USB hub, we are going to include a little adapter here. So this will plug into our board here and give you all the power you need to run devices without draining 5 volts from the iiRcade, which they don't have a lot of extra power. But with this here, you could put your Syndion light guns on here, other USB devices, and not worry about not having enough power. So we include that as well. Of course, we have a little Allen key and a wrench. Now, Allen keys, if you need to take off the spinner tops, in case you want to put on other types of spinner tops. And this wrench here is to lock these, so you can put in the different joysticks that we include. And yes, I said joysticks, because if you pre-ordered the unit, we're going to include some extra goodies for you. Now, of course, we also include the little grommets here that you put over these here. You want to put them over here to make sure that they are properly covered. Now, I've always shown for player 1 and player 2, we have these are the removable tops. We have the player 2 and the player 1 right here. I'll take off real quick. So again, we designed this to be removable. Again, this is a GRS feature. So hopefully Arcade 1-Up kind of doesn't borrow this idea as well. But basically you would take your grommet right here, take one of your grommets, you put that down on there, like so, and you would turn this on to give you your joystick. And again, you would use your wrench right here just to make sure it's locked in place. You don't want the thing, turning on you while you're playing a game. So you would simply take this wrench, lift this up like so. Oh, good. There we go. There we go. Put the wrench down here to lock this in place, just so you can turn this and make it nice and tight. Then you take out your wrench, and now you have your joystick. But again, these are the ball tops, and we include a ball top for, player 1 and player 2. Like so, you have your ball top, one for each, and it's a solid metal shaft. But what if you don't want a ball top? What if you want to use something else? So again, if you were a backer, I'll put this on the right way, like so. There for a second. We also included bat tops. So again, if you did the pre-order, it's a little special thank you. We got these little metal bat tops. Because again, the original unit had the ball tops, but the gold unit had the bat tops. So same thing, you can put these on, like so. Make sure that your grommet's in the right spot. Pink. Put that in. And of course we include, a red one as well. So you have the red one, and of course you have the black one for here. Now the last thing we do include, again, if you have the legacy unit, you're all set to go. You can connect this right away. But if you have the gold unit, you're going to need this little adapter here for the GPIO cable. So we include that as well. So everything you need to connect this to your legacy unit or your gold unit. We include the regular ball tops or the bat tops for the legacy and the gold, depending on which machine that you had. We include the 5-volt power adapter. We include a cable to connect it to the iiRcade. And of course, if you have the mystery encoder board, you connect it right to the unit. But if you have the legacy unit, you would need this little adapter to connect our USB host to the legacy unit. So the next thing to do is really just to put this in a machine and just see how it looks. So that's next. Okay, so once you remove your control panel, you can have your iiRcade board, mounted how you want. Now, I haven't mounted it down yet. I would recommend finding a nice spot and using a couple of screws just so the board doesn't slide around. But I'm always working on this right now. You can see here I have extra 5 volts here for my Tron joysticks, because I do have my Tron joysticks working in my machine. That's what these cables are right here. These are for additional 5 volts for the light up Tron joysticks. Put that away for a second. But you can see here's the main board, and these are the GPIOs that you would use to connect the joysticks and the buttons. That's because they'll go on here. Now, this right here is going to be your USB host, I guess, on the legacy board. Now, if you do have the mystery encoder, a little device right from Team Encoder, I highly recommend this. For $30, this thing I think is a must-have for the iiRcade. Now, it's only available right now for the legacy. It doesn't work yet with the gold, but they're still working on it. Now, if you do have this, you can see there is a USB host. So we can connect direct to this. So if this would go on just like this, the USB faces out, you would simply line up your ports here, press it down, and that'd be USB host over there. And I would connect right to that, and all my powered USB host would work on it. But if you for some reason don't want this, and I really don't know why you wouldn't, but if you didn't get this, we do include our own little cable here, which will give you the same, well, not the same ability, it'll give you USB host. The mystery encoder, Team Encoder board does a lot more. We would include this, and you would simply connect this to this pin right here, like so. And that would give you the host you need to connect my trackball, my spinners, Sinden light guns, and other things to this board. USB capability will be added by adding this. But I do have the mystery encoder board, so you can see how easy this is to plug in. It literally just, you find the top pins, line up the 4 pins, put it in, and you are good to go. But I'm not going to use this right now because I do have the mystery encoder board. I want to show you that it does work, because I think a lot of people are going to buy the mystery Team Encoder board. I keep saying that 1,000 times. And that just goes on just like so. Very easy. Line up your pins and just press down gently, and that's it. So USB host, but if you don't get it, we do include this so you get USB hostability and have all the fun and features. I'll put it right here. So you have the fun and features of it all. So the next thing really to do on this unit is really just to connect it to the iiRcade. Of course, if you have the gold unit, we do include this board here, which will let you connect it to the gold. You can see right here, we have all these things here. This is what's going to be connecting either to the mystery encoder board through a cable, or to my cable to the main board. That's going to power the hub that's here. You can see we have two USB ports you can use right here for additional features. This is also a USB port here as well, but it's like a connector on here. It's not a true USB like that. And we do have the power jack here for powering the unit. Now this is going to connect. This is your GPIO cable. That's going to go on here. I think it'd be a little bit easier to connect this and the power before I connect that. So I'm going to put this down just for a second. Move some stuff out of the way, just for a moment. And I'm going to put this down right here in front of the machine while I get those other cables ready. So it's going to be very simple. We have our little power pack, which we're going to connect, which you can't see. It's kind of off camera right now. Give me a second here. Get this cable going through. So I'm going to take this and feed it through the back of the machine. Just take a second to do. Feed that through the back of the machine. And again, try and get this in the camera view here for you guys. It's hard to see. My workshop is a mess. And we're going to connect that to here. So now we have power to all the USB devices. So your Sinden light gun would draw power from our USB hub versus pulling it from the main board of the iiRcade, which I've already said doesn't have a lot of power in the USB port. So we're taking care of that right here. So the next thing we need to connect is this to the mystery encoder board, or again, you would connect it to our little cable right here. So let me get the other cable. And again, I do apologize for the camera angles. My area is not like it used to be. Not that it ever was spectacular to begin with, but again, we're going to take this cable right here. And we're going to take off this little tie, like so. And I don't need all this length, so I'm probably just going to undo a little bit, like so. And I'm just going to put the tie back on, just try and keep it semi-neat, because I am not the best with wire management. So you can see, once again, you're going to take the USB-A here, and you're going to plug it into the mystery encoder board, like so. But again, you could have connected it to ours just the same. Then you're going to take this, and again, we're going to let this up just for a second, and you're going to connect this to our powered GRS hub. So right now, this, all the USB items under the trackball, the spinners, the front ports, everything is going to be now functional on the iiRcade. So the last thing we need to do is simply to connect this cable to here. And that's probably the hardest of the whole thing, just because I have so much stuff on my machine. But again, it's keyed, so it can only go in one way. So I'm just gonna, you might not be able to see it too well on your camera, the camera angle, just because I need to kind of finagle this a little bit to get this on the right way. I think it goes, I gotta see where the keys are. The keys are facing this way, so it goes on this way. Okay, as you can see, we put our two screws in. It matches, the aesthetics of the iiRcade very well. I do like that we now have this nice and smooth. We have our lettering on there. We can have our ball top or a bat top. But let's fire this thing up and see how it actually works. Okay, you can see we have the control panel set up right here as Operation Wolf. You can see we have our joysticks. I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit. See, the volume goes up, the volume goes down. I'm going to put the volume up a little bit more, just so you can see that the controller here works. There we go. Whoops. Too loud. Woo! You can see both controllers are working here. I'm going to go down to, well, you know what? Let's try this. I have my GRS Sinden shotgun right here. I'm going to take it and I'm going to plug it into the front USB port on the machine. So I'm going to plug this into one of the ports on the front, like so. There we go. So I'm going to launch Operation Wolf. Operation Wolf. And it should auto detect the gun when we start up the game here. You can see we have our white border. And you can see my gun is tracking.
Operation Wolf.
And we'll put in a credit or two here.
Operation initiated.
Pause button, it does just that. So you can see the USB port is working on the front. We have two of them here available, plus actually three inside. Two have the USB male connectors on here. The other one's a like a GTS style connector. Now it is going through the mystery encoder, team encoder board. We have our in there as well. We include the adapter here for the gold unit if you needed that, and everything else included. We have the ball top, we have the bat top. Okay, so that's really it. So if you did back the GRS iiRcade Ultimate Control Panel, I'm just going to do some final testing on this right now. When I give my thumbs up, we'll get these in production. Again, we're going to be including the bat tops. So if you have the gold unit, you'd have the bat tops you would have had in that machine, but also the ball tops if you have the legacy unit. But then again, you can put on any top you want. It doesn't matter. We're going to include both of those. You're going to get your control panel here. All the cables you need to connect it to the legacy unit or the gold unit, including the gold unit needing a special PCB to make it connect to the GPIO pins. We'll include that as well. So the setup and installation was extremely easy. The USB ports on the front that you can access easily, plus two additional USB ports on the inside with USB connectors, plus an additional 4-pin connector for future gaming enhancements. Easily accessible from the back. Now, when I did install the control panel, I had plugged in my power and USB first. I found that that was not the way to do it. It's actually better to connect your GPIO pin first, lower the control panel in place, then go from the back of the machine, connect your power and connect your USB host. Just because of the way it slides in, it's been too much of a problem to connect it any other way. But again, we have our 4-way blue, 8-way red, and again, this is software controllable or manually controllable here. So when you're playing a game like Burger Time, put it to 4-way, there are 4-way controls, then switch to 8-way, have your 8-way controls. We have the two spinners in here. Now the beautiful thing about the GRS Ultimate iiRcade control panel is, even though we do include my standard spinners here, which are fantastic, if you did want to upgrade them to, say, the push-pull spinners, it's USB, so you can drop it in and it will work definitely with the GRS SBC option that will be coming out in the future, but perhaps a mystery encoder or other people still making games for this, if that's possible, can make those games compatible with. But you can change out the spinners, you can change out the trackball for my version 3 optical trackball if you want to do that. The buttons on here I think are fantastic. I mean, of course, they're my buttons, but we do manufacture them to be arcade quality, so I think you guys are pretty happy with it. Again, we have 3 mounting points in the front that we do cover with rubber on here, so it looks more attractive. We have 2 on the side over here. That would be used for other things we had coming down the pipeline, like the GRS flight yoke or steering wheel, or other things we have down in the pipeline. And of course, if you do get the GRS Super Stick here, which you play games like Arcade Warriors, that can connect here as well, and we'll definitely work through my SBC and perhaps maybe even the built-in games as well. But that's it. The installation is very easy. You could definitely get, if you don't like, I personally like the flat black on here myself, but if you do want to look more the part, you could definitely get vinyl, put that on here, or an acrylic topper to put on here as well. Not much more to say about it. It's 2 joysticks, buttons, spinners, trackball, volcano buttons, 4-8-way, and we did add the option on here for the switching ability between the standard iiRcade motherboard and the future coming GRS Viper board, which we should have available in the fourth quarter for around $50. That's the price point we're shooting for. That's it for today's episode. So if you're an iiRcade fanboy or not, if you just enjoy the machine and you did back it, you guys will be getting this. Now, if you didn't back it, we'll still probably make about 70 additional ones. So after every backer gets theirs first, that's key. If you backed it, you get yours first. Once that's done, we'll have about 70 up for grabs. So you still have a chance to get one of these for your machine if you so choose. Now just remember, this is just a game system. It's fun. We have fun with it, but it's not important in people, family, and friends. So make sure you take a moment today to tell someone you love them. Tomorrow's never promised. But with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoy your GRS Ultimate Control Panel when it arrives. And until then, game on!
Are you looking for that arcade experience at home? If you don't have the space for a full-size arcade in your house or endless funds, then you need the GRS Build-A-Cade. It's arcade quality without the arcade price, from someone you can trust. The GRS Build-A-Cade is a very simple, easy to assemble, 1/6 scale arcade computer you can build yourself. You can buy interchangeable controllers for every gaming option you need to play the games the way they're meant to be played. You can also design your own artwork or purchase artwork separately to make your GRS Build-A-Cade look like the machine of your dreams. The GRS Build-A-Cade is also the only home system STEM certified. Come see what all the YouTube creators are raving about. GRS Build-A-Cade.
Game on!
Sit, Blue Blue, sit. Good dog.